All right, I have 11 o'clock. Hello, all, and welcome to our first session of today. I'd like to welcome and introduce our first presenter, Dr. Robin Wright, who is Director of Accessibility Services and the Learning Partners Program at Lewisburg College. In this session, Dr. Wright will be presenting on the different types of post-secondary settings for students with disabilities, and you'll hear about settings where students with disabilities can flourish both independently and with needed support. I am the moderator for this session, so I will be monitoring the chat. If you have any questions while Dr. Wright is presenting, feel free to put them in the chat. Welcome, Dr. Wright.
Thank you, Alicia. Welcome, all of our participants. For those of you that are students, I want to say congratulations. You're at that point in your educational journey that you're thinking about college. And that is a very exciting time, but it also can be an anxious, nerve-wracking time, a little frightening. So today I'm going to try to give you some options, have a conversation with you to give you more information as you're making those decisions. So we're going to proceed. What's next after high school? For some of you, high school probably has been challenging. You never thought that going to college or thinking about college would be an option. Today, we're going to talk about what are some options that you can consider. Four-year university or institution may not be for you, but if it's not, what are some things that you can do? What's some other options? So there are some, many of them. So if you're a student, if we can go back to that previous slide, there are many of those of you that have had some learning differences while you were in high school. So I'm going to give you, there's some specific things that you need to do right now to choosing the right school that starts with these steps. First of all, with your list of schools that you're considering, contact the school's Office of Disability Support Services. If you're a student that has a 504 plan, you have an individualized education plan, or you just have documentation from your doctor or therapist that say you have anxiety, contact this office and talk to them about your documentation. Have it with you. Talk to them about the accommodations that you feel like you might need to be successful when you're in college. If you're a student with anxiety, not a good test taker, and you need extended time when you're taking your test, or if you're a student that might need a quiet setting and may need a separate setting when you're taking your test, talk to them about that. Or if you're not a good note taker and you might need copies of teachers' notes. These are some things that you can request. Determine if that school is willing to provide those accommodations for you. After having that conversation, then follow up with a campus tour. Visit this campus that you're considering. Talk to the faculty, staff, and even other students to see if this is a place that you can call home. Because you will be at this location for 2 years, 4 years, whatever it needs regarding the program. See if this is a place that you feel comfortable staying. Next, we can move on. Focus on graduating. Like first you need to graduate from high school, right? And then we'll consider all of the other options. Next, you need to consider what are those next steps. If you're a student that have always dreamed of going to a four-year college or university, then we'll talk about what are some things that you need to consider with that option. If you're not quite ready for a four-year, we'll talk about what are some options with two-year colleges, residential or community. We're going to then talk about vocational technical schools and what programs offer for you there. If neither of these are options for you, you might need just looking at life skills programs. So we'll talk about what those programs offer. And then adult education, continuing education programs. That might be where you are right now. Next, as you're considering being a student that a four-year college or university is right for, what does that offer for you? They offer bachelor program degrees. The curriculum is more broad, so you have more options to choose from. They can be public or private. Private institutions, four-year institutions, are subsidized by tax money from the state. So generally, they're less expensive than private institutions. Private institutions are funded through endowments, tuitions, donations. So usually the cost is higher than public universities. However, don't let that deter you from looking at private schools because of the cost. Because private schools often offer financial aid options that can help make that cost feasible. They also offer graduate programs. So after you finish your 4 years, then you might consider going back for your master's or another degree. So let's say you're not a student that's ready for a 4-year, and that's okay. There's the 2-year residential or community college options. You may not have gotten into that 4-year, you may not get into that 4-year dream school that you're wanting. You could go to a 2-year community college, get your associate's degree, and then transfer to your 4-year university. All 4 years doesn't have to be at that university. You would go in as a junior, continue your 4 years of college, and get your degree or get another degree. Transferring from a community college to a 2-year university, to a 4-year university, is what many students do, even after they get their degree. Looking at if you're a student that's not ready to leave home, but you want to take classes at a community college, that's definitely an option. To get you to take some of those classes, then you can transfer to your 4-year university. But if you want to stay on campus, work on developing your independent living skills in a smaller environment, then you may want to look at a 2-year residential college. They offer specialized job training programs. It's often more affordable than going straight into a 4-year university. Or you may just want to get your associate's degree and transition into the workforce. These are all options that you can consider in 2 years at either a community college or a 2-year residential. Other options are, next, you're not ready for 2-year, you're not quite ready for 4, then another option could be a vocational technical school or programs. These are typically privately owned, operated schools that offer a wide variety of training opportunities, such as computer technology. You can go into cosmetology, mechanical repair if you're great with cars and you want to start your own business. If you want to work in the legal realm, court reporting, or paralegal services. Or if you want to be in a business office, office administration. Or if the medical field is for you, you could get, you can go into medical assistance. These programs usually take from 5 to 12 months, or as much time as you need, could complete up to even 3 years to complete, depending on the program you go into and the pace that you work. Vocational training schools usually have open admissions. So, which means if you're interested, you can attend. You do not have to take any standardized tests, SAT tests, SAT or ACT, or they do not worry as much about your GPA. But if this is the type of program for you, then this is an option. Next, other options, adult education and continuing education programs. This is a wide range of course offerings. It can help to improve your academic skill, or you can just take a self-enrichment course, a computer course. Continuing education programs are often housed at colleges and universities. All you have to do is pay for the fee of that course. But it will allow you to maybe get a feel if college setting is the right place for you. So you could go onto that campus, your dream school, just take one class to see if this is where you'd like to be. Other options would include, if neither of these are it, life skills programs. If you're just not into those other options, college is not quite for you. Some students may have academic or social skills that's keeping them from attending a four-year university, a two-year college, vocational technical, or even an adult program. Such students may need or have the desire to increase just basic academic skills and knowledge, and may have an equal need to learn increased social and management skills while you're also receiving vocational training. So this will be a setting or program for you. Several life skills programs exist throughout the country and offer training for independence. So you may need to start there before you begin the journey of going to one of the other programs. The key is to consider the options. Exploring the different types of colleges that are available, that's the right fit for you. Planning, setting your plan. Next. It could mean staying within your state or going outside of your state. There's so many options and sizes of programs available for you based on your needs. Next. If you're into or have a desire to go to a historically Black college university, they too are all over the United States. So there's options for you there as well. So what I would like for you to do is to listen to this video that talks about what are some key options and setting a plan from a student perspective.
Hey guys, Maria here. People keep asking me, do you have a plan for life after high school? And I'm like, how am I supposed to figure that out? School has sort of been the biggest thing I've ever done in my whole life. For all that time, I haven't had to worry about what to do next. That's about to end. And I have to answer the question, what do I want to be when I grow up? When I was in the 2nd grade, I wanted to be a princess and a doctor. The good news is, I can still do that. Well, maybe not the princess part, but the path to being a doctor is right here in front of you. You see, answering that first question is the first step in finding your career. And which one you choose can set you down very different paths. I want to be a doctor, which means 4 years of college and then medical school. But maybe you don't want to be a doctor, and a 2-year trade school would be better. Maybe joining the military is your jam, or you could get in on the ground floor of a profession right now. The point is, you have to have a plan. It isn't going to be made for you, and the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be. Now you're looking at me and saying, I don't know what I want to do. So, here's your homework. Yay, homework! Make a list of what you're interested in. What skills do you have? What kind of lifestyle you want to have? And things you believe in. I did this, and on my list, I'm interested in science, I have a great memory, and good people skills. I don't necessarily need to be rich, but I'd like to go on a vacation. And I believe in the calling to help others. Next, I took my list and did some research on the jobs I can do. I eventually landed on doctor. It checks out on all of my boxes. Now, this all might sound a little scary, you know, choosing a path for the rest of your life. But here's the thing, if you choose something that you end up not liking, you can always make another choice. You're not locked in forever. The important thing is, you need to start somewhere. Take that first step that will lead you to the next step. As always, if this has your head spinning, then go see your advanced academic counselor. They understand what you're going through and they want to help. Now get up and make a plan. Do it! Hey, if you like this and you're freaking out about life after high school, I've got more videos with a ton of great information. This is Maria, signing off.
So one of the great takeaways is from Maria is you do need to make a plan. So based on the information I provided you today, you need to start a list of questions. I appreciate those of you that have put some questions in the chat, but I have some questions that I want you to think about as you are making this big step in considering college, no matter what level or type of college you want to pursue. There are specific things that you need to ask, specific questions you need to ask as you're making this decision. Some of these questions include location. What is the nature of the surrounding of the environment of the option you're looking at, the college, the institution? Is it urban? Is it suburban? Is it rural? Is it something that you're used to? Is it somewhere you want to live? What is the size of the campus? Both in terms of acreage. Very important. Are the classes far apart? Are the dorms way across campus? Are they close? Do you have to do a lot of walking? If you're a person that enjoy walking, that's fine, but if you're not, then maybe that you may want a smaller campus. How's the weather during the academic year? Is it cold? Is it warm? Does it snow a lot? What type of environment do you like? Remember, you're going to be living there. Are there accessible internships or other career opportunities, recreational opportunities, amenities, like there's a grocery store nearby? Is there a Walmart? Are there places to go to the movies? What is around this university? What opportunities are available regarding this location? Can you live on campus if you want to? If living on campus is important to you and they do not have that, is housing available? All of these questions around the location of where you want to be. The other area you need to start asking questions about as you're exploring options are the academics. Does the school have the major that you're considering? If you're undecided, like so many students are, that is fine. But do they have a variety of majors that you may be interested in exploring? How will the school help you to determine your academic goals? If you're a student that's struggling, or you're a student that may take a little time, how many students actually graduate within that time? If it's a 4-year university, how many students are actually graduating in 4 years? Or are they dropping out before then? If it's a 2-year, do they actually finish the 2 years? Do they get their degree? Or do they finding that people are transferring after a year? What is the average class size of your introductory classes, the advanced courses or the remedial courses? Is half the student population in remedial courses? Or half the students in advanced courses and you need remedial courses? What does those introductory courses look like and do they meet your needs? What are the professors like in the program? What are they known for? What have they accomplished? You want the instructors to be able to give you the knowledge that you need to be successful, but do they have that knowledge themselves? What kinds of internships and student faculty research opportunities are there? What kind of accreditation does this program have? How is it regarded in the field? How do others think about this institution? Is it something that's truly going to prepare you in your educational journey? Does the school offer writing center or tutoring programs? If you're a student that's going to need that additional support, are those supports at that institution that you're considering? And what does that look like for you? What is the student faculty ratio? Will you be in a class now of 300 students? Or will you be in a class of 12 to 15? If it's 100 students and you feel comfortable, that's great. But if you're a student that needs a smaller setting, then you need to consider that. Ask those questions. In addition to the academic, what are the career services? The reason why you're going to taking the educational journey, going to an institute, looking at one of these programs, is because ultimately you want a career. How will that school help you determine and achieve your career goals? What is the postgraduate job placement rate like? So after you graduate, are you able to get a job? What does the career service office offer you? Do they offer you internships? Do they offer you a list of possible job options after you graduate? What kinds of internships have students held in the past? And how have they found these opportunities? Do students have to go out on their own and find the internships? Or do they have lists and offers for you and actually help you to pursue those internships? And then, of course, you need to look at the cost. What percentage of students receive financial aid? And how much on the average? And is it going to be enough to help you with that expense, even if it's just one class? What percentage of students graduate with debt on the average? Do they have opportunities, financial support that helps to cut that debt? Does financial aid include loans? How many years does it typically take students to graduate from this institution? And I know we've talked about that, but that's important because each year is another year of tuition, plus financial aid, scholarships that might extend beyond your 4 years or your 2 years. So find out how long is it typically taking the students to graduate. And that will let you know what other supports are in place to help those students. Why are they not graduating within that time? What types of scholarships are available for students? Are they awarded based on academic achievement or through the college departments? There's lots of websites that you can look at to find information, to find financial supports. And it doesn't have to be at just a 4-year institution. It can be at a 2, or it can be at one of the other programs we talked about. Especially if you're a student with a disability. There's so many options and resources out there for you. What kinds of work study opportunities are there? Now, yes, it's going to be challenging, maybe challenging for you to work and to have classes. But if you can work on campus, get experience, plus get some extra money, that is something you need to explore and ask if that's an opportunity there. In addition to considering all of these factors, what happens after class? When you're not in class, what are some extracurricular or social life activities that go on? What is that like on that campus? How do students spend their free time on and off campus? And is that something that you are interested in doing? What kinds of fun things are available to students through the school and in the community? What sports teams, musical groups, volunteer organizations can you get involved in or stay involved in with activities that are important to you? Does this program offer those for you? Are there clubs or organizations that pertain to your major or field of study? Can students start their own clubs? What is the process for doing so if you're interested in starting a club? These are just a few questions that I have, that I've listed, and they'll be available in the toolkit for you to consider as you're looking for that program that's best for you. Now, as I said before, you may not be ready for that 4-year institution. You may need to go to the 2-year or go to the vocational, take a class, and then ultimately transition to your dream school. It doesn't have to be immediately after high school. Take the path, develop the plan that is best for you and is able to meet your needs as you're moving forward. Again, this is an exciting time. It's never too early to start, nor is it too late. So if you're a senior, you're graduating, and you have not even considered any of these options, this is a good time for you to consider. And I commend you for joining this webinar. If you are a freshman and you're just starting, congratulations. You have time to process, to visit, to follow the steps that we've discussed today, to make a decision that's best for you. If you decide that you want to go to a 2-year first, you can then always transition, as I said, to a 4. If you start off at a 4 and you're not being successful and you feel like it's just too overwhelming, it is okay to backtrack, to go to one of the other options and then move forward. The key is to develop a plan that helps you to be successful in meeting your career goals. I hope today that I've given you some really good information to consider. We have a few minutes. left that we can address and answer some questions and have a conversation about what's going on and how we can help you to be successful as you are developing your career journey. So do we have some questions?
Thank you, Dr. Wright, for that wonderful presentation. We do have one question in the chat. It says, when you transfer to four-year college from two-year community college, can I assume that both credits and GPA get transferred as well?
That is a fabulous question. What I would suggest is once you've decided which four-year institution you want to attend, prior to even starting your two-year, develop your career plan, your educational plan. Make sure that the courses that you're taking at your two-year institution will transfer. Some of the classes may not, but you need to know that prior to applying to there. And yes, your GPA should transfer, but also have that conversation at your four-year institution regarding specifically what the requirements are. Any other questions?
That was the last question in the chat. However, if participants have any other questions they would like to ask Dr. Wright, please feel free to put those in the chat.
I would like to just say this, being at a two-year institution, I often get questions from students that are here to transition to a four-year. They are disappointed that they did not get into their dream school, and so they consider having to attend a community college or a two-year residential as a setback. But during that time, after they realize the skills that they've developed, they feel later that they are much better prepared for that four-year institution. And so then they just try and have a smoother transition than they would have if they did not start there. So again, I wish you much, much success as you are exploring your options, as you're graduating from high school, either this coming year or in a couple of years. And use these resources that you have provided today to help you guide that path to success. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us.
Thank you. Next, we'll have a presentation on the differences between high school and college. That presentation starts at 12 o'clock. And so I will put a link to that presentation in the chat so you guys can join. That is the join information. And so we will see you in our next presentation at 12 o'clock p.m. You can have a little bit of a break. See you soon. Thank you.